All right, I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order, and we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so we're going to start with the approval of the previous minutes from October 14th. I apologize, we were in a meeting before this, everyone, so I think we're all probably going to have to read this.
I read the minutes, but I haven't read the minutes.
I make a motion that we approve these minutes.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Which one are we going to sign here? Do you have a copy down there?
I have the original. You typically sign during the meeting.
And so everybody knows, Susan is filling in for Ann. Ann is sick tonight, so
Hi.
Susan is our training lady here in the office.
Hi. And I apologize if there's not any copies out, that I just was notified like an hour and a half ago that she would not be able to make it. If there's any copies that are typically out, such as extra agendas or anything, just let me know after the meeting and I'll get you a copy.
So then we're going to move on to approval of accounts payable vouchers. Has everyone had a chance to go over that?
Yes, I make a motion we accept account payable vouchers.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. No adjustments.
No adjustments.
You're saying there's none?
No adjustments.
All right, so we're going to skip adjustments and we're going to go over to clerk treasurer's business.
Okay. I just have a couple of items. Due to short staffing this week, the last couple of days, and the clerk treasurer's sickness today, we have a few bills that we weren't able to get on the accounts payable register that was reviewed earlier. And I would like to list a couple of those, and ask for consideration to go ahead and pay those so that they're paid before next town council
Paid
meeting in
this
December.
month.
One is being utility supply for 6 meters and rubber meter gaskets in the amount of $2,251.58. I'll go ahead and read these off, and if you have any questions, let me know with one motion at the end.
Okay.
Collier's Heating and Air Conditioning, the thermostat would not shut off on the unit. This is at the community center building. They performed a system evaluation and removed the existing thermostat, repaired some wiring, and put a new thermostat in. Total was $542.48. Indiana Municipal Electric Association, the 2025 annual membership dues and the 2025 bi-monthly safety meeting dues in the amount of $1,493.46. And then we have a NAPA one in the amount of $7.08 for paint for locate to mark for locates. We have one for Weed Incorporated related to the vac truck. Includes equipment and labor for 2 technicians, and cleaned out the lift stations. That's for $2,195 even. Williams Supply Company for chemicals related to the sewer plant, I believe, it's $225. And Graycraft Signs, lettering, magnets, and decals for the new Town of Etna Green sign.
For the new Town of Etna Green mule. So it was sort of, we were gonna save that to tell everybody, but K21, along with the park project, with the Heritage Park project that we've got going on here, I put that in there. We added that in there, so we've got a brand new mule for the Town of Etna Green. And that's so that Richard doesn't have to walk the trail every morning to check trash cans and pick up sticks and everything else. So it was gonna be a surprise, but yeah, now we've got it out there.
Like the consultant. It is due November 18th, so I'm doing you a favor.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, the balance due on it is $37, so.
Do we have a total for the pile? What?
I do not.
Okay, then I make a motion that they go ahead and accept the billing as you listed them, that to be included with the accounts payable this month.
Thank you,
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
thank you. That's all I have.
You have nothing else?
No, sir.
Okay. So we're gonna move on to ordinances and resolutions. So, first one, here's this stuff got one. Okay, so we have 2 of them here. Do you know what these are about, Susan?
This is the resolution for the, authorizing the application submission and local match commitment for the, Okra CDBG planning grant. So it basically is authorizing, Heath to sign, and submit the application on behalf of the town. And it's committing a local match of not to exceed $10,000 from LIT, which is 10% of the proposed, project amount.
I make a motion we accept the resolution 2025-07.
Second motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do you have one to sign, or you want me to pass this one down and you give me a copy?
Do you mind if I get you to sign them after the meeting?
Yep, that's fine. Well, I just signed that one, you have that one there, so.
Yeah, it's just his signature.
Yep, alright, the next one is, resolution 2025-8. And this is a resolution providing for the transfer of appropriations for the 2025 budget for the action and passage by the Etna Green Town Council. There's a glitch on that, that needs changed.
Oh, I see that, yeah,
It's Kosciuszko.
I got it. Correction on the name of the county.
I didn't get one of those papers.
You might get one. Can you explain what this is for since you
Yes.
typed this?
Yes, so, at times during the year, as we all know, a budget is done quite a ways before you're actually spending in the years here.
Last
And-
year.
Yeah, exactly. So it has not had to be done, this year so far. So we are transferring into line items that is in need of additional funds from ones that the funds were not needed. So the overall total budget is it remains the same.
I make a motion, we accept resolution 2025-08.
I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye. We all three need to sign it.
Yeah, I'll sign this one and pass it down.
Okay, so
Yeah, you can keep that one for yourself.
thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to fire and township business. Do we have anybody here from the fire department to represent the fire department? I don't think we do. Okay, we're gonna skip that one or pass over that one. Next, we're gonna move on to attorney business. So Nick, what do you have for us?
I do not have anything today.
Nothing?
Nope.
Nothing. All right, I don't know about that. You're all right, all right. Okay. I guess we could move this into your slot. I'm gonna make a motion that we move forward with the contract, with Ann Cowger, that we went over here earlier.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'm gonna need copies on the two resolutions and that one, please.
Sure. Yes, sir.
Okay, next we're gonna move on to Olivia.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Olivia Nix, and I am a community development planner with the Michiana Area Council of Governments. I've had the pleasure of working with the town for the past few months here on a grant application to secure funding for a master utility study. This has been a kind of group effort from town staff and community members in contributing their input and feedback to make a compelling and successful grant application, which we are gearing up to submit this Friday. I have a few different things to touch on for the grant requirements, but also want to give a quick update and then say that I am all ears for any questions that you may have. So this grant that the town is applying for is through the Indiana Community Office of Community and Rural Affairs. It's a planning grant to fund a master utility study that will take a deep look at the wastewater, drinking water, and the feasibility of a stormwater utility as well. And this is to have a better understanding of the areas that need improvement, what the current state of the infrastructure is, and get a recommended plan of action. As I'm sure you've been made aware, any issues or problems that you are currently experiencing with your utilities, your water utilities, can be directed to the town clerk. And that is useful as we put together this grant application and move forward with completing the study. So all in all, if awarded, the study will be complete within a 12-month window, but definitely shorter than that, and will give the town a roadmap for suggested critical improvements, looking out for the next 5 years, and then kind of long-term game plan for other improvements spanning 20 years. So the town is seeking the maximum CDBG amount of $90,000, and like Susan mentioned earlier, the town is committing a 10% match and of not to exceed $10,000, which will bring that total project cost to $100,000. So one of the core principles of Okra funding is making sure that we are achieving one of their national objectives. The national objective that this is satisfying is low to moderate income area benefit. And the way that we calculated this was through income surveying. This was done back in the springtime, and through the income surveys, we needed to meet the threshold of 51% low to moderate income individuals. From the results, we have calculated that approximately 63.1% of the individuals in the area are low to moderate income, and therefore $56,790 will be used to benefit the low to moderate income individuals. That is a fun calculation that Okra requires us to do. And the last thing to touch on is that this project itself will not result in the displacement of any individuals or businesses, but it is a necessary step as the town prepares for future infrastructure improvements, namely in creating a fundable document, meaning that they are able to then go and secure construction dollars to fund those improvements the plan suggests. So that's my long-winded spiel. Happy to answer any questions the council has, or any of the community members, but this has been a work in progress, and we're gearing up to submit this Friday for the grant application. And we should hear within a month about award, so. Thank you.
Is it gonna be a full amount, or could there be partial amounts if whether it's
No,
it's
we
either is or not?
Yeah, we specify the amount that we're seeking, and it's either awarded or not awarded, so we have a good understanding of the budget being $100,000 if awarded.
Okay.
Oh, also, I guess relevant, the town has selected Commonwealth Engineering as the firm to use to conduct the study. We went through a procurement process a while back, and so Commonwealth is not a new name to anybody here. And
When will you find out the result of the grant application?
It's typically within a month, so we have the Thanksgiving holiday to
Before
add
the end of the year?
but before the end of the year we'll know, yeah. And then
Okay.
we'll be able to move forward with the contract at that point and get rolling.
You got Dave back there?
Yep.
This grant is just for the,
For the study,
right?
yep, so
Okay.
this,
You'll say you're not gonna get much done for $100,000.
no, construction-wise, no, but this is
Darn.
the most, yeah, I wish, not day. But this is the most essential step, cause it kind of unlocks those external funding sources to go after, to actually fund the construction, yeah.
I'd like to add, we've been working with Olivia and basically the water committee and reviewing the past application that we applied for, the scoring matrix associated with this next go-around, and then targeting support letters, mainly impact letters. Residents in this community that are dealing with significant issues. And we have some really good impact letters to go along with this application.
Yeah.
I think we're grounded very well with this Okra application.
I agree.
I think we learned from the last one, and I think we've got a lot more input into this one here.
Yeah.
So this one is like, we really did our homework this time.
Absolutely, the feedback, that's why they do those sessions, but they're very critical in identifying areas where we kind of needed to fill in some blanks and reframe from some things and build up the resident impact, which we knew existed, but now it's just kind of giving a little bit more evidence to it.
But we have till Friday, so if you have
Yeah.
issues.
Don't add any more.
Yeah, get them in now. No, definitely.
We'll help
Knock on some
to
doors.
get this.
Yeah. I will say pat on the back to the community. We have received numerous letters with genuine kind of statements of impact, pictures, and then nearly 70 responses on the survey that was sent out. So that is, yeah, hats off. Not many communities, especially something like this. It's not as fun to participate in, but this is a meaningful one. So appreciate that.
That's the platform.
Makes my job easier in the application process. So
All right, thank you, Olivia.
thank you.
All right, I'm gonna change the schedule up here a little bit. We're gonna move right to Commonwealth next, and what they have to bring to us tonight.
So we started the process developing the funding roadmap for the community. And one of the alternatives was basically to look at the most cost-effective method for the town to do the preliminary engineering study or the master utility study for the community. And that was with the Okra planning grant. We're still moving down that method, and Commonwealth has been a vital part here, supporting both the community and MACOG in addressing some of these issues and outlining the application to be submitted. What we're running into is a timing issue. So with that, as Olivia said, after the award the Okra planning grant has been awarded, which we don't know if it's going to be awarded or not, you have 12 months for this process to be completed. What we're running into is multiple failures within both the utilities, the wastewater and the water system. And I'm concerned that if we miss this next go around for the state revolving funds, it's going to be an opportunity that you guys may be out 1.5 to 2.5 years before you get any type of construction project moving forward.
We've got to get it moving this year.
Yeah, what worries me is that sort of plan out there is the biggest concern at the moment. I took Eileen Hall out there last week and took her for a tour so she could see physically. The decking out there that Ashbury has to walk across. I mean, I even told Eileen, I'm like, well, we're not going over there. We're just not, because I don't trust it. There's been one employee did fall through the decking out there. The aerators that are in both those ditches out there, the grease is just pouring out of those things, and the fingers are gone off of all of them. If we lose one of these ditches goes down, it puts the town down to one, and then it puts all the strain back onto that one when we have two. And I don't want to see something happen to the town, and we need to move forward. And we've just had some recent issues with some water here in town where we still have people that are still getting very nasty water. So we're going to have to start going out and going to certain people's houses here in town and flushing lines to try and keep up with this. So we can't wait 2 years. We can't wait for it to break and then say, hey, we're going to fix it. So that's where Chris.
One of the things I want to talk about, when you work through an Okra planning grant, they require a community to have a match. Most of the time, most communities will reach out to the state revolving funds. And what they're looking for there is either grant funding, zero interest loans, or a low interest loans to complement the Okra projects that are coming in. So there's multiple avenues here to help support the community. What we're seeing is that over the past 4 years, there has been an utility infrastructure bill that has been used and has helped communities within the state, and there's only 1 year life cycle left this last year for those funds available for the community. With that, the town is going to be applying for SRF as your match, one way or the other. What I would like the council to take into consideration is to start that process early. Meaning, we work through the preliminary engineering review for the wastewater. You will also require an asset management plan to be completed and have that project submitted into the SRF cycle here April 1st. Those funds can be reimbursed back to the community with the SRF funding project. With me tonight is Jeremy Hardy. Jeremy is excellent with this. He is typically the project engineer for Etna Green. And I brought him along to explain the process as well and to allow the town to get better clarification on what we're trying to do to get ahead of the ball game into a construction project and not waiting 1.5 to 2.5 years. Jeremy, you got any comments?
Yep, so, again, the timing thing, so with SRF, they actually have another layer of requirements. Chris mentioned the asset management plan. So they require that to even qualify to be funded. So I know there's a timing thing with the planning grant. Before, the plan was use that to submit, and at some point in time, this asset management plan was always gonna come up. But it's just been kind of kicked down the road, just waiting for this to occur. So kind of need to have these things that happen at once to achieve what Chris has mentioned, this bill funding that's available through SRF. Currently, that's the biggest mechanism of grant funding available beyond CDBG through OKRA that you can apply for, but that has to happen after you do your planning grant. So it's the best opportunity kind of hanging out there for the community itself. After which time, there are small grant opportunities with the state to where you have to raise rates to meet a certain threshold. Whereas if you meet the criteria, which I believe, Chris, you already verified that, so they have a threshold for this bill funding that as long as you score within their fundable range, you have access to that. Now, they go down the list, so it's much like with trying to score well and get the planning grant, you want to score well on that list so that you have first access. And so then they look at rates, they look at household income, they look at all demographics to see what should be afforded to the applicant. So I would ask a question though, timing wise, because I think this kind of helps articulate the conversation a little better. Let's just say the town is awarded, you say about a month's time.
Yeah.
Are they able to start immediately, or is there a waiting period?
For planning grants, there's a brief period where you need to submit draft contracts to OKRA, and they will then at that point release funds. Once release of funds is secured, then you're able to move forward. Since this is our second go about, that should all move really swiftly, so it can happen in pretty quick succession.
So like first of the year,
Yes.
should be able to get rolling?
Yep.
Yeah. So I was just kind of thinking about that when she mentioned how quick this might be available, that one big undertaking is the AMP. You gotta have that underway. So I know Chris and I talked about moving forward with a specific PER for wastewater, but I think maybe just being able to move forward with the AMP, there's a small window of time to be able to wait for that. That way, I don't want to see the community have to lay out funds ahead of time when this could be utilized in that fashion. So the actual evaluations and everything can happen pretty quick, but the asset management plan is pretty exhaustive, very detailed. Plus, we actually have to get the financial folks to do their piece of the equation so that Keith, when you sign the checklist, you're certifying that it's done. So we gotta have some time also for the financial folks. So that's where that one we can give a little more breathing room, but with the AMP, as far as hitting that April 1st deadline, that's, I think where Chris is going is, we're at that point, the fork in the road of, this is a good opportunity for you, and that's something that we would have to cut loose and get moving forward with.
So really, the timing is the issue here. And what we're experiencing and what we're seeing on a regular basis is that we're having a lot of system errors with both the water and the wastewater. And I think the question you need to ask yourself, can I wait 1.5 to 2.5 years before I have run into a construction project? I know at this point in time, the town's putting a lot of funding in for reactive or emergency repairs, and it's costly. And if we get to a point where we do have a major failure, what does that look like? Now, it may never happen, right? I mean, you may work itself through, But with that, stepping into that SRF funding April 1st, to get you in the hopper, we should know by July if there's any type of package rolling through. If not, we roll into the next year. And by that time, we should be established with Okra and working with the wastewater project to get that project kicked off and going. Now, that does not mean that the water system's not as important, because it is, but we gotta take one hurdle at a time.
I think it's, the whole thing is being proactive, and it's like you don't wait for it to break until you fix it. I think we need to take and sort of keep moving ahead with this to make sure, because I don't wanna see, you know, like you said, with the wastewater is a bad subject, right, you know, with what's going on out there, and I mean, we've dumped a ton of money into control panels and pumps and, you know, all these emergency, you know, coming out and pumping stuff. We're down to one well too. So, we've got one well that we're using to, you know, to take and do the whole town. And so that's another thing to look at too, is that we need to be proactive, we need to keep moving forward, with getting this stuff taken care of, so that we can get it fixed.
What is your suggestion on what we do? What is our next step and when do we do it?
Well, you know, when we first started this project, we're looking at the most affordable way to manage the master utility plan, and that is through the Okra funding project, the planning grant. Now we're seeing a little bit of hurdle where we're having a lot of reactive maintenance call outs. And the question I'm asking the council here, can you wait 1.5 to 2.5 years to do a construction project? That's a long piece of time with putting Band-Aids on equipment. And my suggestion is, let's get at least the wastewater project into the state revolving fund funding cycle. That is April 1st. And that will require a preliminary engineering review and also the asset management plan. Now, the one thing we're speculating on, and I think we're in good shape, is that we will get the Okra planning grant. And if we know that within a month, it's great. Okay, we still have to do that asset management plan.
So the Okra grant will cover that PER, preliminary engineering, and then what they're kind of saying is that rather than doing sequentially the PER and then the asset management plan, that you're kind of working on those simultaneously, ensuring that you're getting a start on that asset management plan kind of ASAP, so that way you can.
We can't start either of these until we get the grant.
Well, the asset.
Yeah, asset management planning start immediately.
Yeah.
It's the piece Olivia presented on with the master utility plan. We have to wait for that to be approved because there's requirements of not starting before it's released.
Yeah.
So that one we'd be playing just kind of chicken and egg with, just making sure you don't do anything that puts you in the crosshairs.
And
Then the other one,
master utility study would be kind of 3 PERs, one for your wastewater, one for your drinking water, and then also analyzing the potential stormwater, the existing infrastructure, and gearing you up for that. So that part is all then squared away and allows you to then get in the future calls for funding for that. So regardless of timing on things, the master utility study will result in 3 kind of PERs.
Now here again, we're looking at focusing on that April 1st deadline. If we complete the asset management plan is completed, there's gonna be a point in time where we're gonna say, hey, this is either gonna go through with Okra or it's not gonna meet our timeline for this April 1st timeline, and then we'll be stepping back in and say, what direction does the council wanna move forward with? Because we're going to have to move quickly. We're running out of time. I mean, there's a lot of work on the plate, and that's why I'm bringing it here now to get this submitted by April 1st.
yeah, that's where we need to rely on you as our experts to let us know what we need to do when.
Now Keith, The asset management plan and the preliminary engineering review are a planning process, and engineering, they are reimbursable. You can get your funds back. So if you had to borrow from one of the utilities or a specific fund, you can have that fund reimbursed with SRF funding.
Yeah,
So basically, we're gonna put a deposit down, and then once it goes through,
Move
we'll
forward.
get our deposit back. To make it-
Yes.
So everybody sort of understands, I mean.
we need to, because we need to get this rolling, like you say, we're on a timeline, so that if that grant comes through, we can just keep the ball rolling.
Jeremy, you have any more comments on that? Are we reasonable on our timelines?
No, yeah, it's definitely, can't miss a step along the way, but it's doable.
So what do you need from us tonight?
I'd like for you to take under consideration, moving forward with the asset management plan for the wastewater system at this point in time.
And that requires,
That'd be hiring you guys to do that, or?
Yeah.
We would do that. The cost on that is $30,000.
Okay.
does
You
council
just
wanna
need
talk
us
about
to
that?
take it in consideration, what's that?
Do we wanna talk about that, or do we wanna make a motion on that, or?
That's, well, that's what I was just gonna ask, is that something we just, you were saying we need to take into consideration right now? But not, or actually move on it, or should we
We're
wait?
either gonna have to move here at this council meeting or December's council meeting to make that timeline, that April 1st timeline.
Okay, well,
The sooner the better, to be honest with
we've
you.
had too many things kicked down the road that should have been done, let's not,
There's no use putting it off.
let's not do that again. I make a motion that we, hire Commonwealth in order to do the asset, what is it?
Management plan.
And asset management plan.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And if we run into an issue with the preliminary engineering review, and we don't think we're gonna make that April 1st through Okra, we'll come back and say, hey, this is where we're at. We need to make a movement on that as well.
No, I will say
But we
that-
need to do this no matter what.
Yeah.
So it has to be fixed, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, and statewide, there is a requirement statewide that you have the asset management plan, so it's not for naught. It's a pending requirement, actually, it's already passed. Now, timing wise, it's not as urgent, but just so you know, it's still useful, it meets some regulatory requirements, it'll be useful for, town staff, from here on, so.
Is there anything else that you need from us tonight to begin with, to keep the ball rolling, to get it rolling?
I probably gotta sign some paperwork later on, don't I?
Yeah, we'll follow up with that, yeah.
Do we wanna make a motion so I'm approved to sign that paperwork, or are we good with this motion?
You should be good
Yeah.
with this motion.
Okay, okay.
Or Nick, do you think?
I think that'd be best, yeah. Just
And,
think,
and also to amend it maybe to include not to exceed 30,000.
yeah, I don't know, has the
If what?
formal motion been made and seconded?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yes,
Yeah.
it did.
Yeah,
Okay.
and voted on.
Yeah,
Vote on, yeah.
I would clarify that, Heath has the authority of a council to sign off on the contract.
I make a motion that we authorize Heath to sign off on the contract when it's presented for Commonwealth to do the asset management plan.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
This gentleman, did you have a question?
Yeah, you said that if the grant passes, we can get our deposit back, but what happens if the grant don't pass? Can we still get our deposit
So
back?
we're looking at two different funding avenues. One is the Okra grant. The second one is that if the town funded the asset management plan and the engineering review with funds within the community, and once they get SRF funding, they can be reimbursed back to those accounts.
But, I mean, they will get their SRS funding, I mean, no matter what, even if you don't get the grant? I don't
There's
understand that.
there's always certain levels of SRF funding. One thing that we're looking for is grant
I
funding.
just worry about us losing our money,
Sure.
for any reason.
Absolutely. There's grant funding. The second one is zero or low interest loans, which could be considered a grant. because you're not paying all that interest charges associated with it. The third avenue is pool funding, which is still low interest, but is not the lowest interest that you would typically see.
And to clarify on the master utility study, with the 10% match that is being committed, that is only secured if we receive that grant. So for the Okra planning study, the 10,000 will only be dispersed if they receive that award, and then the reimbursable part is specific to the wastewater
So
SRF funding.
the town's still gonna have skin in the game with Okra. They'll have that 10% match, which is basically 10,000. Okay, that is still the most cost-effective way to do a master utility study covering the water, wastewater, and stormwater. So with that, if you do apply for Okra for a construction, you will have to have a matching fund, and typically that is through the state revolving funding mechanism. They require that asset management plan. So, a lot going on here.
Yeah.
Got a lot of things happening here, but the whole intent is we want to get into this last cycle of the infrastructural funding bill, and that will be April 1st. And hopefully that's going to be the best benefit for the community.
Next one we have on the agenda here, I'm gonna pull Amy Rowe up, so we all in this stuff here.
I always have to talk after the weird thing.
Oh, after the weird thing, okay.
The weird.
We have a happy thing we're talking
We
about.
do.
now, so-
We do. Hi, Susan. I heard something about you. So
Oh, thank you.
I'm Amy.
Hi, Amy.
Before I forget to say this out loud to you, Olivia and I just spoke. I believe that we need to be looking for an email, potentially around the 26th of November.
Oh, yes, in regards to the, T-Mobile tornado siren grant, we submitted that application at the end of September, and, there was a end of November award, announcement, so just to keep an eye out,
Okay,
for that.
okay.
And so I think, Susan, you would probably be the one to help Anne determine what the best pathway is. So one of the questions I had was, so the grant is coming to the town of Etna Green because the town of Etna Green owns this building in which the siren will go on top of.
Okay.
So as far as the fund that it will come into, I don't know if it needs to have a different fund to be created.
Yeah, I would suggest that, yeah.
Okay, so I
Creative.
wasn't sure, cause you've probably seen everything and you may have it all memorized. I know enough to be dangerous, so I did tell Ann,
Very
and now
dangerous.
it's more of a crucial thing, so when the money does come, we need to determine where it will actually arrive. And if a fund has to be done, then we have to do an ordinance establishing whatever said
Resolution,
fund,
right.
resolution, whatever it is, all those things. So if you could maybe look into that,
Yes, absolutely.
that would be really helpful, cause if that comes in at the end of November, I'd like to be prepared, cause then probably
We would do that for the December meeting.
Yeah.
that's
We'll
what I'm
have a
thinking,
resolution.
so, because I'm
Yeah.
assuming the money wouldn't come right away, so they would have time then.
Yeah, absolutely.
For it to be established, so
Yeah.
if you
We
could
can have
look
it
at-
established before the end of the year. And
but at the December board meeting, so when the money would come in, then it wouldn't have to sit in wherever it's sitting, it could be,
So it would be December 10th.
put right into.
Yep. so if you could look into that, that would be really
Yeah.
helpful.
Yeah.
We're doing that because we, our hope is that we will receive that. We feel like we put a solid case, and the community did a great job of doing support letters for that as well, so.
Oh, that's wonderful, yes,
So
absolutely.
that was one thing. The other thing, and Heath and I talked about this today, so as a point of reference, on Monday of this coming week, my job will be to put together timelines for each of the communities associated with the CAP grants that we are moving forward with. The final word came in from the CAP committee that each of the grant applications for the CAP have to be in by June 30th in order for those specific communities, all the communities, to not be in the pool with the nonprofits. So in order for the communities to receive the funding, not in competition with nonprofits, each of the communities would need to be able to get their applications in by the 30th. So I'm gonna work with Heath and the town board to figure out the best pathway. So just everyone here knows if we have to move quickly, it is not for any other reason except for we just want to make sure that we can not miss that really important deadline. I think we should be fine because we were given the opportunity to have a 3-phased
Yes.
process, so we should be fine to meet that deadline. But just as a point of reference for all y'all, one of the things that will be important coming up soon, not at this point, but probably in the new year, is to receive public input associated with what needs to be in the park, because that will be one of the grant. I know some of the folks in the room had said they'd be interested in doing that, so just have that on your radar. Sometime probably in January. We haven't determined what that timeline looks like, but just as a point of reference on your horizon to start thinking about those things in the park for the 3rd phase, that would be important for you to put into that grant application that we will finish. So stay tuned and start the wheels a turning, and we'll get on that and I'll probably have that and present to the board hopefully in December if approved by the CAP committee on the 18th of November. So we are duly moving forward.
And just to add to that, as far as the paving part, just so hopefully everybody's drove past it or whatever, the paving is all done. And everybody's welcome to go up and walk on it, ride your bicycles on it. I don't have the signs up yet. We don't have landscaping done. There's a lot of that. I was gonna mention, Liz, if you could, I was gonna do this last week before the snow, if you could get some cool pictures of the park up there and sort of put them on Ink Free News without the snow, so hopefully it warms up a little bit, but if you could get some pretty cool pictures up there, get with me and let's sort of give like a sort of brief description of what people can do, because I've had a couple people said, well, they're riding bikes up there, and it's like, well, they can ride bikes. This is a health and wellness, walking trail is what this is about, so if me and you could get together on that, get some pictures so people know that it's here and it's done. It's not finished. We've got a long ways to go. The other one I want to sort of bring up is I'm going to have some community involvement and some discussion is part of this 3rd phase, and some people might like it, some people might hate it. I would like to take and do away with the softball diamond and take that building that is there and put it in public restrooms and possibly a concession area for certain events, so that people going up here to utilize our park have bathrooms.
Amen.
And I know there's gonna be people there and be like, oh my God, the softball diamond, but I've talked to the Lions Club a little bit, and I've talked to numerous other people, and nothing is being done with that softball diamond anymore. And I know things come and things go. I would like to take and utilize that building for, like I said, public bathrooms, so that people aren't going up here and using the gas station every time they come to Etna Green, so that we can get more people involved in community events and stuff like that. And even at that, we don't really, there's no bathrooms up there unless we unlock the building for those events. So that's something that we needed to all talk about, and I want to, I'm just bringing it up and getting it started. Richard did get a brand new mule, and so we're going to throw that back out here. So if you see him cruising around town in it, the town didn't pay for it, K21 paid for it. So, thank those people, and I'm thanking K21 right now and everyone there for putting that in there, and that's to help because, we're limited on access as far as people and stuff, Like I said, in Warsaw, they just hire another person for the park. Well, we can't do that. So we got the mule, so that the other one is sort of quit running this spring, and so now we got a new one. It's got a plow on it, so we might plow it in the winter time so people can still walk in the winter and have a good place to go walk. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up, and yeah, me and Amy got a lot to do here after the first of the year, and phase 2 and phase 3. We have to have phase 2 done by March
or April.
We gotta have that done, and then we gotta have the plan for phase 3 coming
we have
up
to have the
here.
application in, and I mean matching funds.
I will just say, the dog and I have been going up to the park forever. But people didn't walk up there because of the grass would make their shoes wet. There is a lot of people in this town that are using that paths already.
Okay.
Some of them that I never even knew, and I've lived here all my life, but
Great.
We've gotten to, Carol and I've gotten to talk to a lot of people, they're already using the paths.
So all of
it's a
those
good
people
thing.
over Thanksgiving dinner and Christmas dinner and all those things, make sure that they start thinking about what it is that they would like additionally.
Yep.
So when we ask them, we don't have to drag, I don't think we're gonna have to drag any information out, but have everybody start thinking about that, cause that would be really helpful. So,
Well, if we can get Liz to get it in the paper, that way people know.
yeah, to start thinking
It's
about
getting
it.
cold out, so some of the people don't wanna go outside, so.
Everybody's liked the paths so far.
Right.
that I've talked to.
Are you gonna put
Thank
signs
you
up
very
there,
much.
no motorized vehicles to keep golf carts off of it?
Yeah, I have to order the signs.
We're
It's
getting
just,
there.
it's a very busy time of year for me, and like I said, I haven't, and I can't find the right sign. There's, the signs they have are like this, and I wanna find some smaller ones that sort of go with the path, that doesn't look like a giant stop sign, you know, all on there, but yes, we got temporary bollards up right now to keep people off. There's some cones up there. I ask everybody to try and stay involved. If you see people, remind them that, hey, the signs aren't up yet, but no motorized vehicles. I know we had a side-by-side or something up there in the dark before it was paved. You know, there's hoodlums everywhere. I mean, we were all kids, you know, we all did dumb things. I did too. I did burnouts here in town when I was a kid,
Not
so,
me.
we all.
That was you?
No, that was me, yeah. So, but-
And the sheriff's department's been notified to patrol the park now.
Uh-oh. Good work, guys.
Okay, moving on.
Hey,
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Are you really gonna get rid of the
Free.
baseball
Yeah.
field down there? The Amish come and play there all the time, or softball field, or whatever. it
That's,
is. You don't see them more. I live
I-
right there. I do.
I know. It's one of them things where it's something to talk about because, like I said, that there's a block building that's there. There's already utilities there. They need upgraded. The top part of that building is falling apart. It's infested with squirrels.
Well, I mean, you can still build a building there, just leave the ball field there.
Well, I'm just looking
The
at.
church youth group goes up there and plays.
Okay, from what I'm being told, nobody uses it.
Oh,
So
well, I've
that's
seen
what
Amish
I'm
that-
being told, that there's
Amish
not
come in town and use it.
there's not any organizations. There's not any games being played up there. There's not. I'm just trying to be proactive. I'm trying to look at other things that the community can do up there.
I mean, can't you build a building like it's what the size that's already there and leave the ball field there?
We can talk about it.
Yeah, and I
This is
think
all-
the point of bringing it up now was to start understanding really what is being used, because obviously they're not gonna know everything, so just to have the conversation started so we know what the input is, and then once we get the final input, which hopefully, you know, would be around like February,
I
then we'll
mean, not a
know.
lot of people use
Yeah.
that field, but you know,
Yeah.
they do.
maybe the Amish could go to a field that more people use. Maybe it's time just to close that field down if just one set of people using it.
Now, there used to be a field by Clunet that the Amish
No,
used,
they're-
and it's completely gone now.
Yeah,
And-
well, Atwood might be having a park too, so, Atwood is actually putting in for a park as well with the CAP, so I mean, there will be some other parks that are close in, you know, what is that, like 7 miles away from here, so
Well,
there will be other activities.
Urban has a really nice,
in
some
the,
really nice
you know,
ball
so,
fields
but
as
there's-
well.
Can you use them though?
Yeah.
Those are school.
It'll be
Well,
good conversation pieces.
I mean, you wouldn't have to take the ball diamond clear out to do that with that building.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's something we can look at.
Yeah, that's
You can
all.
look at it.
And
too.
right
Because
now,
it could- it could stay
we're
like-
asking for ideas.
Yep.
And
It could
this
stay
is,
like it
this
is and
is
still
exactly
redo
what
that
we
building.
need.
Yeah.
That we want ideas in every which way about, and what will work, what won't, what will be good for the community.
Right.
And not that I like
So start talking over Thanksgiving.
Right. Okay. We're gonna move on to this Leary,
Construction.
Leary Construction Company. Susan, do you know anything about this, or is this dumped in your lap too? Do we have to approve this? I see.
Yes, it is, I don't know a lot about it.
Okay. I actually looked at all the pictures online. The pictures online are a lot easier, a lot more detailed, I guess. If you've seen what the water looks like inside that tank, you'd approve this immediately.
This is something that we do on a regular
Yes,
basis.
well,
And it's a requirement of the state that
Yep.
that we do this, that they have it inspected
Yeah, this is-
and taken care of and do things that
So from what it looks like, they've done an inspection and they are suggesting
Yes.
the repairs on it, Time frame estimated to start approximately 25-26, probably based on some input from the town council. The duration of the painting is estimated 5 to 10 days, weather permitting. This project is scheduled for a single mobilization. Estimated prices and times based on 7-day work week. It looks like they have separated the items out to allow for, possibly to allow for a piecemeal type job. On page 3, it's listed as the vent being 7,500, exterior roof ladder 2,000, the overflow flapper valve screen repaired at 1,500, and the clean up and touch up the interior is 14,190.
This is something that's vital to our water system, that we stay on top of this. I think we ought to go ahead and do this, that if they're saying this is what needs done, we need to do it.
Okay. So I make a motion that we move forward with the, with doing the repairs and the repainting and everything that needs to be done with the water tower so that we stay in state compliance.
With the Leary contract.
All in favor?
I was on
Aye.
top of that tower before it was ever painted the first
Can I
time.
ask a
Susan?
question?
What
Yes.
was the first figure you gave?
It is the vent for 7,500.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, I was just gonna total that too. Have that total.
I've got 2 pages here identical to.
Yeah, they're both like that at the end.
Okay.
Is this something that you would want Commonwealth to look at since they're doing a study on the existing?
You definitely
Is
want
this
a copy
something
of
that
it.
we're doing that we may need to wait for the study, or,
Part of the asset study here.
no, the, planning?
Not necessarily.
No.
We just,
Okay.
we just need a copy of it to.
Just need a cap, all right.
Okay.
Because typically with the master utility study, we would reference dates in which things were done, so,
Okay.
I mean, you
So-
can't just wait to not do anything.
Since
And
we,
water, and this is water where we're gonna be looking more with you guys, more towards the wastewater to begin with. We gotta stay up on our water system, and that water tower is a big part of it.
Keith, if this is a $400,000 project, I'd probably say wait and include it with the PER, the evaluation.
But it's not,
You're at 14,000.
25,190.
25,000, yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's, and we have funds to do these things. This is regular maintenance every number of years, that this is something that, over the time that I've been on council, I'm not sure how many times we've been through this, and it's a regular maintenance thing to have it inspected. And then there's always things that need to be worked on. The interior usually has to have something done. It's seldom that we don't have to. I mean, I've seen it where we spend a lot more at times doing repairs than what this is.
I understand.
Okay.
Just remember that we are always there
Right.
for your help.
Okay.
And if you do run an issue, you have an on-call agreement. If you need the engineer to take a look at it.
Thank you.
Okay, the next one we're going to move on to is, we've got 2 quotes in here for the trash service here in town. One is from Apex and one is from Republic, and we have a representative from Republic here, today. We should wait for Nick to get back before we move forward with this, or has everybody had time to look at it and go over it?
Yeah, I've looked at it very much. What do you?
Get out of there.
Actually, he stole my candy. It's not my candy, but
So
my favorite.
if we went with Apex, they provide with all new trash cans and recycle bins that Republic has provided us with.
Yeah, they'll have to go through and replace all of them.
Yeah.
It does say 1 6-yard dumpster in here, but there is 2. That was a provision that Ian had told me about this morning. So
With Apex,
with Apex, yeah, that's actually 2 6-yard dumpsters for that price.
up at the park.
Well, one for
One
the
in the
park.
park and one place.
Well, and the one at the park is an issue, something that we're having problems with. There's some people here in town that are abusing it.
Very much.
Yes, I have actual pictures. Somebody tore off their roof and put their roof in that dumpster up there.
That's a
So,
little.
and-
And there's been numerous times this
And-
summer that people have put so much stuff in the dumpster that they've put stuff outside the
Outside of the
dumpster, which
dumpster.
is a big no-no.
right, so,
Yeah,
but that's,
That's
Couches
the
and
one for there and one
Chairs.
for out the waste treatment plant, or, okay. Yeah, but, and then I didn't see where it said what days of the week or when they would be doing, whether it would be on the same schedule or
I'm not sure on that one.
that day. But it's still the same thing as once a week trash and
And every other week on
and
the
every other
recycle.
week recycle. Do they have, also, do they have, lists of what can be recycled and what's not? How stringent are they on recycling?
I'm not sure on that one. We're waiting
I
on
know,
you, Nick.
I know Republic has gotten a lot tighter on what they wanted recycled, that there was, and a lot of what I understood was going into the recycle bin was ending up just going to the landfill because it was outside their purview of what they allowed for recycling.
Who do we use right now?
We use Republic right now. Is who we have, and like I said, we have a quote here. Just to give you guys the rate, as of January 1st for the trash and the recycling will be $20 per household from Republic. You go to the Apex quote. The Apex quote is $17.83. Is what that one is. So,
And they're showing here also on Republic of the different amounts that it's gonna go up over a 5-year, each year for 5 years. And Apex says that they will limit to 5% cap per annum on potential increases so they might not even increase by that much, but the 5% cap per annum is less than what the Republic is showing for what they want to increase.
Is the service like apples to apples?
yeah, everything on paper shows that way. So.
Is there large trash?
That's what it seems to be, yes.
Yes, same thing with the large
Large
trash
trash day?
days, yeah, because
That
there's been
Quarterly.
discussion on changing that, and, yeah.
That it's,
what was Republic going up?
Republic will be doing $20 a month starting January 1st, and then it'll be $20.80 on 27 and $21.63 in 28, $22.50 in 29, and in 2030 it'll be $23.40. And if we're starting with, if we accept Apex, it would be $17.83 rather than $20. And that, in the 5 years, I was doing the math earlier and I didn't write it down, but it's significantly less over the 5-year period. That the 5% is not as much as what Republic is asking for the 5-year increase, 5-year increases.
Do you have anything to say, Susie? I meant this, Susie.
No, yeah, no, it's,
Both Susies, how's that?
the last 5 minutes I've been reviewing it, didn't get a chance to prior, but it does look apples to apples. And I know, have you had conversations with Nick over the contract or?
I mean, Keith said something earlier about whether we can do a 3-year or a 5-year, and, I mean, so you're saying it doesn't matter which one?
I don't see any issue with the length. I think if you were considering going with Apex, the only hesitation that I would have is if this is the entirety of the contract. Ideally, the contract has language that says if the town wants to get out, you just need to give them like a 30-day notice. But this is silent as to when you could get out and what you would need to do
Whether
to get out.
we'd be locked in for the 5 years or not.
It's silent, so I think you'd have an argument that says the contract doesn't say anything about getting out, here's our notice, we wanna get out, but it's ambiguous. Ideally, it says with 30 days notice, you can get out.
And we do need an answer this meeting, or?
Yes, we do,
Okay.
we do. Go ahead, Sean.
So, you know, I moved out at Etna Green, and I had Apex out by Midtown. They weren't bad, but they're nowhere near the size of Republic, nowhere near. So you're going from, I don't know how big they are, but I know Republic's a lot bigger. The price may be better, but there was,
Customer
and I'm only
service.
one person, there was only, you know, it may not just been, but I was way out in the country on Schilling Road, and there was times where, you know, it didn't work out so well. At least I know here in Etna Green, I've been here for a long time, Republic picks up my trash. I've never had an issue with Republic. I know it's cheaper, and I take that for what it's worth, but it's just me.
Yep.
So,
We skipped my trash can several times.
yeah.
So the thing is that it's like apple to oranges where you pick up in town or out of town that when the trash services that because in town it's every house they can do the routes and that I can see where there could be more problems as they move if we had more of a larger community outside of town that to try to service that would might be a problem, but being in town, I think I would think either one would do okay.
Can they fit their truck down the pavement on the alley instead of on the
The
grass?
trucks are all the same width.
Well, you're talking about in 5 years, if they do those increases, it's only a little over $2 difference.
And it's still
So-
cheaper than, so. Do we ever hear a motion one way or the other, or?
I make a motion that we accept the Apex, the contract for the trash and recycling,
I'll second that motion.
and for a 5-year period.
A 5-year period. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do we need to sign this one here and give them some of this signed in, or is the verbal through council gonna be?
I would recommend signing it.
When will this take effect with Apex or with
I think it's the first of the year.
first of the year?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought, but I'd ask.
I'll be a California.
11.
Comment from January? Comment for the month of January?
So,
I just have one question from the Republic side. We've obviously been servicing this community since 2012 and so we're obviously disappointed that we were not chosen to continue on. The question, I guess we've reserved the right to object to this proposal that's just been agreed to. And the question I would ask is, where was this bid process posted? Other than Ann calling around
That's all it was. Does a contract like this have to be,
A routine
It's
service,
over.
something like this typically wouldn't be competitively bid.
so there's, yeah, go ahead and repeat.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm saying with a routine sort of service like this to the town, this isn't something that would be routinely competitively bid, where you're sending out and soliciting bids from providers.
Okay. I just wanna know, so that's the town's statement is you don't feel it needed to be put out That's
Yeah.
bid.
I mean, I've been on council for, well, since the Republic has been on here, and has given good service, but you've also always been the lowest bidder that we've been able to go along with, and that's big important to our community. But and even just a couple dollars a month that makes a big difference. And I've for the most part I've been personally have been happy with your service. There's been a few there's always a few things that have been caused problems, but it's I would like to say that it's you guys did give us the bidding for an amount, and it was over, and that and each year it goes up more than what the 5% of the other was, that it accumulates more and more than what the other one would accumulate. So in the end, it's more than it keeps getting bigger spread. So I mean, I feel I have to go with what is best for the community. That way.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to this quill estimate. Did you guys all get a
He
chance?
was
to-
planning to-
Oh, go ahead.
I would like to respond to what he said about Republic. Numerous times, we've had the wheels broken off our trash can because they slam it back down on the ground. Numerous times, my trash can has not even been picked up, and it's right on this main street. So, I don't have a problem with switching.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and move on to this quill estimate. Did all three of us here have a chance to go over this estimate? And what this is for, we're trying to finish getting all of these chairs replaced. So what we're looking at is these chairs that you guys are sitting on my front two rows, and the ones that are in the back row are the ones that we're trying to get rid of and get all of them replaced for this building and for the community building. That and the new tables. So we've got the folding chairs are in here, and then we also have the 8 new tables. These tables are about half the weight of what the old wooden ones are. So it's a lot easier for our cleaning lady to, when people don't put them back like they're supposed to, it's a lot easier for her to handle them and move them around. The next one that is on this list right here, this table, is another table just like this one here to put in that office over there, so that we can take and have, when we have our larger meetings, when we have more than 4 people, so that we can actually have a separate meeting over there. We've been having the meetings out here during the day when we have our meetings, and we do get interrupted. It doesn't hurt anything, but we do have people walking through here. So that's what the last item on here is. I definitely approve the first one on here as far as the chairs and these tables. It is sort of up for discussion on whether or not we want to do this other table for this other office. The desk was removed from in there, so there is no longer a desk in there in that corner taking up the whole corner, so it's been moved back here, is where it's at. It's back in the hallway.
My question is only 8 tables that I was thinking that we have like 24 to 30 tables up there, but at the park building.
Richard?
No, we do not.
Is that what we're doing, is just replacing the last of the wooden ones that are up there?
Well, I didn't think we had any, we didn't have any
We don't
wooden
have
ones.
any wooden ones.
There's no wooden ones?
No,
We
no.
have some dark gray plastic ones that match these newer chairs that are good tables. The other tables that we're proposing to replace literally need to be replaced. They're getting
Okay.
worn.
Okay, so it's there has been some already replaced from when I was up there doing the
Yes.
cleaning and all because yeah.
It's just time for them to be replaced.
That was my only
what it
thing, was
boils
that
down
only
to.
8 tables, that's just a drop of what how many was up there. I just wanted a clarification on that. The chairs, yeah, and I've had this battle before about getting new chairs, and that there's always been somebody that comes up with Well, those chairs have been here forever from the school and from the church and from and talking about from the 70s. That
Much like a
Hey,
lot of
Keith,
other things
there's
in
no
this
argument
town.
here tonight. There's
Yeah,
no
I
argument. We're
did-
gonna give
They
you
need to
chairs.
be
okay?
I did.
We're getting, the only thing I
I-
really wanna talk about is this table for this other room. I just wanna make sure that we're agree with moving forward with that table. Other than that, no, I wanna make a motion to go with the tables and the chairs. I want you two's opinion on this conference table for the other room.
That's not a bad price for a holiday.
It's not. That's actually a really good price.
$6.99, yeah, for a table,
It's just like this one.
something like this, a little shorter. That
If we got
That-
the money.
Yes, we do have the money. Well, some of this money, people gotta remember, we gotta spend it before the end of the year.
I second your motion that we go through with all three bids.
Okay, well, alright.
Or is that what your motion
Yeah,
was?
I make a motion that we go ahead with this quote right here to purchase the new chairs, the new tables, and the new table for the conference room in there.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Rick could have built you a table for the conference room, but they have antlers
$5 billion.
sticking out of it.
Nah, we can't afford that one.
They have
Keith,
antlers
what are you
sticking
planning
out
on
of
doing with the
it.
chairs?
The old ones?
Yeah, like these here you're talking about, you talking about these here?
That's another one of them things, it's a touchy subject because we can't it's like, yeah, we gotta get rid of stuff. I don't know, cause
Is there
there's,
an auction or something, or?
well,
is it
that's something that we
notified
need
or
to do
posted?
because we have, it needs to happen, because we got a lot of stuff that is up at the shop building that's just taking up space. So eventually, we're gonna have to do something. We're not gonna give
Sealed-
away, we're not
sealed
gonna,
bids.
yeah, we'll do,
Right,
that's
sealed bid.
coming.
Yeah, that's all I know.
This
We're
next
gonna give
summer,
nothing away, yeah.
yeah, we'll do something with that. We're not throwing them away though, no.
Right.
But yeah, we do need to do that, but this council's been very busy this summer. I didn't get a chance to go through, with, the blight here in town, with people not taking care of their houses and junk cars. We've been busy. We're gonna get back to that, but, it's just been a very crazy year and we're doing the best we can and, I hope you all appreciate it and work with me. Okay, next on this agenda, we got Ashbury report. I read through there. There's nothing really in the report. There's nothing bad, like there has been in the past. So, and I was just out there last week, walked around, took Eileen out there for a tour. So everything's good out there. So let's go ahead and move on to old business. Do we have any old business that either of you two want to go over or talk about?
Nothing.
No? Okay. So next we're gonna move on to Richard. Richard, do you have any comments tonight?
Well, I would like to say, thank you very much to K21 Foundation for the new mule. I really, really appreciate it. And, since the mule is out of the bag, thank you. Thank you very much. Heath, for all the work that you've done to help with, get the walking track for us. Thank you very much for that. Thank you for campaigning to K21 to help get the mule. You've done a lot more work for this walking track than what the residents in this town know. Amy has done a lot of work with this. There's other people that I haven't mentioned that have done a lot of work with this walking track. I've put in a little bit myself. It's my job. But Heath has put in a lot of work that not many people in this town know about. And I myself, I say thank you, Heath.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Heath.
Thank you.
Oh, and Rick Price as well, Dave Price as well. They've helped at the walking track as well, clearing trees for the park to get the walking track and things like that done. I would like to thank those two gentlemen as well.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You'll get the $5 million bill.
He just likes to play with
Richard,
his
you take your rag on
chainsaw.
the gator if you want.
That'd be $5 million.
Does anybody else have any?
Around the racetrack.
Does anybody else have anything else here tonight? Does council have anything else?
I'd like to thank everyone for helping me quickly move into gears to substitute for Ann tonight, especially Phil for running and getting the camera and everything set up. yeah, it was not good. So she,
Unexpected.
yes,
She's,
very.
I'm gonna say this, Ann is putting in tons of extra hours up here that people don't see, so when she's not here on Friday, or when the door's locked on Friday, she's still here working on Fridays, she's getting stuff caught up. She comes in on weekends sometimes, she stays after, you know, Susan, same thing, you're here late at night sometimes taking care of this stuff. I appreciate both of you taking and working together, and getting through all this finances and straightening out this paperwork and making it easier, for everyone here, so.
And I will say, just from the little that I've been involved here, Ann has done a tremendous job. I've been thoroughly
She's
impressed.
came a
She's on
long
top of
way.
stuff.
Right.
Shortly,
So-
yes.
Yeah, we've known Ann a long time, she's real particular about stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
she
I
is.
talk to her now every day. Every day we have meetings.
Now you gotta worry about getting her to shut up.
I didn't say that, you did. All right, I make a motion that we adjourn this meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.